Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 17 of our FTB Skies Let's Play series, where today we are talking about the Lost episode. You'll find out what that means in just a moment, and getting into Industrial Foregoing. Let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata. And rather, it's nighttime. Apparently, I can't tell my days and my nights. Unfortunately, we have a lost episode. I literally just finished recording episode 17, looked over at OBS, and realized I never hit record. Yay for me. Luckily, we didn't do terribly too much last episode, so I can run through everything that we did pretty easily. It's basically it was continuing off with our automation of our create processing. So let's pop into this room and take a look and see what we got going on. Am I recording? Let me just double check that over here. Yes. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, so in episode 15, we had left off, episode 16, we had left off. We had set up all our sifters going up here. So last episode, or the missing episode, I went ahead and set up the exporters, like I said I was going to. Each one of them is set up to export one of the requisite materials. Behind each one, I have a detector going on, and the detector is detecting whether I have enough of the resources that go into each one. So, for example, the gravel. If I end up with more than 1,024 gravel, it will emit a redstone signal, and my exporter is set to only work when there is more than 1,024. Over here, I have sand doing the same thing, where it'll emit a signal when sand is greater than 1,024. And as you can see, we're less than 1,024 on our sand, or exactly on it. So sand has slowed down its processing, which is the reason I set this up, because I didn't want to run out of materials, because like sand we use, it's useful for a lot of things. So we have that set up for all of these, our dust, our soul sand, crushed netherrack, crushed endstone, and then we're waterlogging sand and dirt, so that way we can get the coral. One thing that we learned was that for the dirt sieving, this does have to be a string mesh, not amethyst, which is interesting. You have to run it through a string mesh in order for it to process, and it's kind of slow, but it does its job, and that's all that matters to me. So what we have underneath here is pipes set up with some gold upgrades, and it's fast enough to be able to pull all the items out, and it's just going into a nice little interface over here with a stack upgrade and speed upgrades, and bada bing, bada boom, everything's being processed. Over on the other side, what we have is our nice little nifty netherite backpack. As you can see, things have been clearing out. On our backpack, we went ahead and set up a filter upgrade. And the filter upgrade allows us to filter by, specifically the advanced filter, allows us to filter by item tag. So we have a tag of forge raw materials on here. So the only thing that's allowed to end up in this netherite backpack is raw materials, things that can be smelted. So we have an external storage pointing at this guy, so that refined storage puts anything that ends up being a raw material up into here, and it's got a priority of 10, so it's, prioritized. Over here, we have a pipe that is transferring out. I do believe I put an ultimate pipe upgrade in there so that it can pull items as fast as it can over into our ultimate smelting factory, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots available to it. I do have auto sorting on, because why not? And it's just bulk processing all of those things, 9 at a time, and it's fully upgraded, speed and energy. Currently using almost 2,000 RF per tick. And then right below there, I just have a importer set up with stack and speed upgrades, so it can go ahead and do all of the things as well. And that's basically it. That's what we ended up getting to last episode, was all of this, finishing all of this off. Ultimately, I'm satisfied with this. It honestly didn't need to have a giant compact machine or the maximum size compact machine for it. We're probably overkill on our water wheels here and everything, but it's working, and that's what matters. Everything's working. Ores are coming in. They're getting processed. This is overkill for sure. Eventually, maybe not, though. Once we work on getting ourselves up to brass, we can replace these sifters with brass, and that will allow us to smelt or process 8 items at a time. Instead of right now, currently, they can only sift 1 gravel and 1 sand. The brass will allow it to do 8. So that's going to 8x the processing. Whether we'll still bottleneck or anything here, I don't know. But like I've said before, my goal is not fast. I mean, the smelter is really fast, but I don't need a lot. I just need it to work all the time. Make sense? Just don't stop. Just keep going forever and ever, do the thing, and we don't have to worry about it at all. I can just let it run as it's going to run, and resources will continue to increase over time. And I don't have to stress about it. And it just sits there and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, just like we have with our logs chilling out over here or our obsidian, right? We started out with no obsidian. Now we have 3,000 obsidian available to us, and all of our other resources are going to increase. One thing I do want to check on is pop over here to my drawer, and I'm going to set this to insert only. So items can go in, but now refined storage can't let me pull items out of here. And the reason I want to do that is just to check and make sure that everything that is being processed is ending up into a drawer like it's supposed to. Beetroot seeds, that comes from sieving dirt, which we are not sieving regular dirt. We're sieving waterlogged dirt, so I don't have to worry about those clogging our system. We shouldn't end up with any more than that. All of our ores, of course, we can see them in here because the external storage is set up on the backpack, but eventually these will all be gone. We won't see those. Tough, we're not ending up with more pasture seeds, gilded blackstone, so I think we're good. Nothing else are we ending up with bulk amounts of. So we can go ahead. What is that? Gold dust for some reason? Whatever, it's fine. We can go ahead and set this to insert and extract again and set it back up. The only other major thing that we did was automate our charger over here. The charger is set to export Certus quartz with a detector, so that when we run with less than 64 Certus quartz, it turns off, and then it just imports. That way we get charged Certus quartz, because one of the things that we need to work on getting automated at some point is Fluix crystals, which, I mean, we currently don't have any Fluix crystals automated. So I have to manually make Fluix crystals, which is really not too difficult of a process, but it's also manual, and who likes to do things manually when you have automation available to you? All of that being said, that's pretty much where we ended up last episode. So we can go ahead and dive on into this episode and see where we want to go with everything that we got. I did set up LaserIO on my to-do list. I'd love to start getting into LaserIO. I've used it once or twice before, and I'd like to use it again. It could handle a lot of issues that we have with like item input output plus power and things like that. So we can take a look into that. I do need to get Create going and get the mechanical mixer going so we can get brass sifters. I don't know if I'm ready to dive into that. One thing I know for sure I want to do, just because it's been driving me crazy, I want to get a mana pool going and get a mana spreader going from Britannia, even if I'm not going to use them now. It's going to unlock the quest chain for all of our other things that we have going on. So mana pool, mana spreader, sure, just set that down. Because now, look, that just cleared out Amethyst Mesh. It cleared out all of these quests that have been just waiting for me to get into Britannia somewhat. All of these quests here, part of our progression quests, actually not even progression, but like other quests here have been waiting for me to get into Britannia to do. And it's been a little while, so let's go ahead and collect our quest rewards. And let's see what we end up with ultimately. We got a tiny potato. We got a large compact machine, which is a 9x9. Blacker Lotus, sure, we can just go ahead and eat that right into our mana pool that we got chilling out over here. Well, helps if I actually get it in there. So you have to have mana for the Blacker Lotus to actually do the thing. You have to have a little bit of a kickstart. We got the Purple People Eater. Unbreaking 8, Beheading 3, Scavenger 2, and Sharpness 6. That's actually pretty good. We have looting and sockets. I'd like to know what the sockets are all about. Interesting. We'll put it away. Energy upgrades, infused alloy, ball cast, mechanical belt shafts, a whole bunch of stuff from Hexeri, floating pure daisy, oakwood, stone, shimmering wheat seeds, budding amethyst. Somebody pointed out, multiple of you actually pointed out, that I did loot budding amethyst when I was exploring the nether, just never noticed. So I didn't even have to go through the whole process. I ended up with a whole bunch of them. The near wakens nearby archwood trees into wheeled walkers and budding amethyst into amethyst golems. A budding shrine. Maybe let's take a look at that. From what I understand, the amethyst golems will harvest amethyst for you automatically from your clusters, where you don't have to do all of the work. The golems will do it for you. I kind of like that idea. I'm a fan of not doing work. You all know that. Smithing table here, bed out of the way. Should we set up like a compact machine for a golem and see how that works? Put him in a compact machine so that he can just constantly process amethyst. I'm not opposed to that. We did just get ourselves a 9x9 or a large compact machine. Plus, we could use this for other Ars Nouveau stuff. Granted, I did want to make an Ars Nouveau island, but I think that because he's going to be an entity walking around, being inside of a compact machine would be kind of nice to kind of keep him contained, if that makes sense. I have no idea what I'm doing there, by the way, with this, but it says budding amethyst and the amethyst golems. It doesn't tell me about it. Let's go to Ars Nouveau. Again, I'm going to be getting ahead of myself on this, but amethyst golems. Using a ritual of awakening while near budding amethysts. Once summoned, use a dominion wand on them and then sneak right click on inventory like a chest or barrel. The golem will then automatically farm nearby amethysts and even convert blocks into budding amethysts. But I do need to, it has to be done in a ritual brazier. This is just a tablet, but you have to use it in a ritual. Okay, so we're not quite there yet. All right. So that takes care of that. Okay, now I know I've been doing a lot of tech, and I know magic is in this pack, and I do want to get into magic, but I'm trying to get ourselves situated with our tech and everything. That way, everything can be done, ready to go for all of our craftings of things and stuff. So we are going to dive into magic very soon. I want to get my tech taken care of. And the last really major thing for tech that we need to get into is Industrial Foregoing. Industrial Foregoing is our last major step in tech to unlocking some of those other machines that we've seen going on. So I think that's the route I want to go. Get Industrial Foregoing out of the way. That way it's done, ready for us to have automations going, and then we can start working on getting into magic and all that stuff. Mainly my goal here with Industrial Foregoing is to get myself up to the enchanting factory. That way we can get all of our stuff enchanted super duper easy, rip enchants off, getting things enchanted. Though granted, we're going to need to get up a mob farm and get some experience and all that stuff going for us as well. But yeah, I think that's the route that I want to go. And it's kind of sort of refreshing my memory of all of these different electric mods and all that stuff. Anyway, electric power tech mods. So Industrial Foregoing. So in order to get started with Industrial Foregoing, the key recipe or the key thing that we are going to need for every single thing is going to be latex. Latex is the king of Industrial Foregoing in order to make plastic. And that's what we are going to use our latex for. We need to extract some latex from the trees in order to make plastic. So we're going to go ahead and teach the system how to make some of these base items from Industrial Foregoing. Pistons. I don't know how to make pistons. No, or the pressure plates. I don't necessarily need to make a bunch of these pressure plates, but sure, we'll teach the system. Why not? And pistons. Throw those over there. And then I might as well just teach the system how to make a fluid extractor too, while I'm here, and I can just request them. I can always take that one back out if I need to. So a fluid extractor, we're going to want 4 of these. And with these, we're going to be able to get latex. We are going to want to get ourselves a block placer. And cyclic, probably the way to go here. I don't think that this guy requires power. Facing any direction. Okay. Let's just make sure that we're checking our quests because it's going to give us stuff to work with. Okay. I'm sorry, rubber. That's what we're getting. Rubber will generate latex, which will get us to plastic. Okay. Good. And then while we're at it, we're going to want an exporter, which we have, and we're going to want a bucket. Not a bucket, a tank. And then we need a latex processing machine, right? Processing unit. Trying to remember all the things that we need. I probably could just look at the quests because that's our next steps. And then a dissolution chamber. That's our auto crafting area, right? Yeah. Just double checking and making sure. Okay. and then a dissolution chamber. All right, so with that, that gets us all of the stuff that we need to get ourselves started. So let's pop over to Tech Island, and I've left this area open for Industrial Foregoing intentionally, so that way we can get everything started. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to want our block placer to place blocks above it. So how can I rotate you with any? Okay, you can rotate, but I need it to face up. Is that possible? Yes, it can. So I'm going to need to just build down for a second. There. And with that, I should be able to place this like so. Oh, shift right click. TheAndrata. Nope. Okay, it worked before. Mine must have to be like directly above. There we go. Okay. So it's going to place its blocks right above it, right? And what I want is logs, oak logs. Bam. So if I give you oak logs and I just say always on, it's just going to place an oak log right above. Bada bing, bada boom. Beautiful. And then all we have to do is get our fluid extractors set up like so. They don't even need power, though it does make them faster. And as you can see, they're starting to break the blocks. And what they do is, as they break the blocks, they create fluid. They have a progress bar. Every 100 ticks, it looks like, or about 5 seconds. A wandering trader. That is the first wandering trader I will have seen in this pack. What do you have available for me? Anything good? Because I have not had a wandering trader spawn, period. I'm going to want to get some emeralds. Because he has elytras. Do I need an elytra? No. Where did he go? Man, it's nighttime, so he's invisible. Thank you. However, elytra is for a quest, and I have not done that quest yet. These are developer of the MODPACK's head from FTB. A sleep charm? I don't ever need to sleep, and I've never seen enemies spawn. Bucket of ender fireflies, some sand, some melon seeds, and tube of coral block, and Pathfinder's quill. Okay. I think ultimately that's everything that I would need. Did he fall? Or did I get him? Yeah. There's also a quest for killing him. So that's why I murderated him. Okay, cool. The quest gets me a thing that stops them from spawning ever again. But I mean, I'm 16 episodes in. We played quite a few hours. And that's the first wandering trader I've ever seen. And luckily we got the elytra from him. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have our fluid pipe set up. We're going to get a fluid tank and we're going to go ahead and place this bad boy. Let's say, we're going to need our latex processing unit. That's going to turn the latex into rubber, but we're also going to need water into this. I've made this compact before. I'm just trying to remember how I did so. Because this also needs power. And eventually that's going to turn into, the rubber is going to turn into plastic, right? You're going to turn into dry rubber. Dry rubber is tiny dry rubber, which is made in the latex processing units. And then we can get a crafter. And then the crafter can turn it into dry rubber, and then we can auto smelt it. But how can we make this as compact as possible? Latex processing unit can come over here. Latex can come out of this and go, maybe this is where LaserIO can come in handy. Does LaserIO, can it handle fluids? Fluid card. Yeah, let's see if we can do this all with LaserIO. I would like for this whole process to only take this space. So if we can make that happen somehow, that would be great. So let's get into LaserIO, which means we're gonna need to go back home and we're gonna need to teach the system how to make some LaserIO stuff. And by LaserIO stuff, we're gonna have to teach it everything. Okay, our discs are getting full. I know I want to get into occultism too, but let's go ahead and refine discs. Let's go with a 64K. We're just going to teach the system how to do this, which is going to be you, which is going to be you, which is going to be you. And then that's going to be you. And then that'll hold us off for a while. Okay. Missing silicon. Silicon comes from smelting that charged or Certus dust, right? Certus quartz dust. Smelt it into silicon. You can go into my advanced smelting factory. Now we'll have silicone. Okay, so let's get the 64K. Get that going. Okay, so that's going to take care of that. I came in here to teach stuff about LaserIO, though, right? Yes. Okay, so for LaserIO, we're going to need a few things from what I understand. I've used this mod once or twice before, but I'm not super duper, you know, versed in it. So we're going to play with it again. I think I used to be versed in it, but it's been a while. We're going to want to get a laser wrench, I guess. We're going to want this thing, I'm going to assume. A logic chip, which is smelting. Let's put that down here. That's going to be this in order to get it. Do I have quartz blocks anywhere? I have a bunch of nether quartz down below. Now you're sunny quartz. I don't think I want that. I just want quartz block. Just a standard quartz block, please. Why are there so many? Just make this easy on myself and just craft one. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's a crafting recipe, but that's a smelting recipe, so I'll make sure to keep that there. And I guess I'm gonna have to teach the system how to make a block of quartz too. Okay, laser connector was another thing that it was going to need, right? That was part of this recipe, was a laser connector. A card holder. Then we're also going to need the LaserIO upgrades, right? We're going to need the item cards or the cards themselves. Item card. We're going to need fluid cards. We're going to want energy cards and redstone cards. Sure. Then filters. Teach you how to make iron bars. Remember, this is a smelting recipe, TheAndrata. We're going to need glass panes. Back to LaserIO. Okay, that's that. Accounting filter, tag filter, basic filter plus some paper. Okay. Counting filter, basic. Sure, I mean we'll teach them all. It doesn't hurt. Mod filter allows you to sort by mod. And then overclocker is speed upgrades and node overclocker. Okay. Whew. All of the things. Everything's going to go into the system, except for the one that needs smelted, goes into the advanced smelting factory. And with that, now we can craft all of the things LaserIO. So let's go ahead. So we have 4 machines there. So we're going to need 5 machines right now. Let's make 10 of these. Let's get 10 laser nodes. And then we're going to need at least 5 fluid cards, because that's inserting and pulling, right? So we're going to need, that's 4 fluid cards. And let's head over there and go see how this is going to work. Like, what is this going to all entail? Oops. We're also going to need to get refined storage up here in a moment, but we can handle that. Okay, so at LaserIO, give me those nodes. Give me the fluid cards. Now, these don't stack, but that's why we have the card holder, because you can put them inside of the card holder. And then they stack inside of there. While we're at it, just go ahead and get ourselves 10 energy cards, get ourselves 10 item cards, get 10 more fluid cards, some redstone cards. Overclockers we'll hold off on just because I don't know how many like diamonds and stuff we have. Okay, that takes care of those. Some more fluid cards. redstones. And there we go. And see, again, this is why I wanted to get into tech. That way I have all of this stuff available to us beforehand. And then I don't have to worry about, waiting on crafting all of this stuff. Anyway, okay, so laser. And how do you work? On the down, I want a fluid card. And the fluid card, right click, I want you to extract from the down. Yeah, extract from the down. Let's get another node, place it here. You're going to be on the down. You're going to be a fluid card, but you're going to be insert. Now I just need to link them together, right? And we should be good to go. So if I do this to here, latex is coming out and it got extracted. Cool. It extracted the latex out. And you can see the little arrow or the little laser. Okay. So the latex got extracted out. So we're going to go ahead and we can do this to here, this to here, and this to here. And we can go ahead and set them all up the same way. So down, you're going to be an extract. On the down. Oh, actually, you know what? I just noticed you can access your card from your card holder from this inventory, which is really nice. Okay, so these should all now be extracting and inserting into here. Hey, wow, that's nice. The one cool thing about LaserIO too, or I'm sorry, about Industrial Foregoing is it can insert and extract from items. So I can set like a sink next to this and it would auto pull from the sink, or I can even set it up on the bottom or something, but we do need to get power into this. However, power should be pretty simple because we can set up, let's set a laser node up right in the middle with a flux point. And we're going to call this Industrial Foregoing. Output network. Industrial. I don't know why that's Indus 4 setup. Okay, so now we can set on this on the up. Let's get an energy card, and you're going to extract from the up. Yep, look, lasers coming out of there. We want it to transfer as much as it can. Is this making it faster? Or slower? I don't know. I guess we'll find out when the time comes. I'm just clicking the button until such a time that it hits something. Is this like every 512 ticks? Because if that's the case, I just made a grave error. And I'm going to have to click a lot to get this reset back to normal. I'm going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to assume that's every 512 ticks. It's going to transfer out that much. So that was probably dumb of me to do. Let's try that again. Extract every tick. There we go. Let's be smart about this, TheAndrata. Okay. Can I put you into here? No? Bummer. Okay. You are going to go to there. Now on the down, we are also going to have, and this is where the beauty of LaserIO comes from, because you can have multiple things all on one side. So on the down, it's going to insert. So this should get power. Yes? No? Maybe so? There it goes. I didn't bind it. Okay. So now we have power coming into there, and then that power can be sent to other machines too. Okay. So now we have that going. So then the only other thing that we need is water, and that's pretty easily handled. Like I don't need to do anything fancy for the water. We can even set this up underneath here. So that way we can have the water be hidden. Water, everything's going to get cleared. And from the bottom, you're going to enable, you're going to pull from the bottom. So now it's going to automatically start processing and making tiny dry rubber. Perfect. Okay. Crafter. Is the RF Tools Crafter in this pack? Yes, it is. That's perfect. We can go ahead and get ourselves an RF Tools Crafter going. And with this bad boy, we will now be able to take those little tiny dry rubbers, tiny dry rubber, and automatically craft that. So we're going to send power. Oh, I need to get another node. Send power from there to there. You're going to, on the down, go ahead and insert power. Perfect. So this guy should be filling up with power. Now on this guy, we're going to take these little tiny rubber and we're going to go ahead and say, okay, on the down, we want an item card. You're going to extract. Now, filter, can you extract? Can I control? No, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that comes out of this is the tiny dry rubber. So we're going to extract from there. You're going to insert over to here on the down item card. Insert. So then tiny dry rubber should be coming into here. Perfect. We then go ahead and we take, now that we have 9 of those, we set them up in here and we say, well, click on that first. Learn the recipe. Apply. Tiny dry rubber automatically. Fast mode. Do the thing. Perfect. Now we end up with dry rubber. And then that dry rubber can finally come on over. And we're probably going to move this entire setup somewhere where, because this is an automated process. But let's get some sort of smelting factory or energized smelter or redstone furnace. Nothing too fancy that we are going to need for this. Either one. Seeing as I don't have all of that stuff, but I probably have all the stuff for an energized smelter. We'll go ahead and do an energized smelter. And there we go. Energized smelter. Let's go ahead and clear your config, please. You are going to get a node above you. That node is going to be bound from here to here. You need some power. So on your down, you're going to get not a fluid card, an energy card. Insert. So now you should be getting power. Perfect. You're also going to get bound from here to here because you're going to do an item card. You're going to do down a insert from there. Item card. Insert. And then over here on the down, we're going to have an item card, but this one is going to be an extract. However, what I don't want it to extract is the tiny dry rubber. I want to make sure that it's only going to extract what I want. And actually, are you going to extract anything? Because you're not doing anything at the moment. Latex is filling up. Dry rubber. That's what I want you to extract, buddy. On the down. Suck it out of there. Can it not see that? There's the item card. It knows. This is an item card insert. Maybe I need a filter. Is it confused? Get a basic filter. And we're going to say, can you do the draggy thing? Yeah. Dry rubber is allowed. Oh, and input. That's probably what the issue is. I probably didn't even need to do that. I forgot that I set this to only allow from there. Okay, there we go. Dry rubber being converted over to plastic. Bada bing, bada boom, we have plastic available to us. Easy as that. So our next goal is then get ourselves a dissolution chamber. The dissolution chamber is going to be what allows us to make all the other things that we're going to need from this mod. basically, our goal is to work our way through the machine frames until we get to the highest tier. Now, the only problem that we have here is currently we are utilizing all of our latex for the rubber processing. Ideally, we would have some latex going to rubber processing and then some latex being saved for us. Or we could set up a whole nother process of this and have all of the latex get dumped into a system. Really, it doesn't make too much of a difference there how we end up doing that. What we do need to do is get refined storage set up over here. So you are central, the centroid of the mechanism over here. So we're going to run our power up that chain, but not so high. I'm going to have to fix that later. Excuse me. Why are you being all... Okay, I guess that is correct. We need to get the exporter set up on that guy so that he keeps logs in his inventory. Logs, export all the time. Bam. There we go. And then now log. Log. You are connected? No. I was like, wait, you are connected, right? Land. There we go. No one notices that, right? You can't see that, right? You don't see that ugly terribleness? Okay, cool. So anyway, we got plastic, and then I can have that plastic be automatically imported into the system. We can get power to these guys too. I mean, it doesn't hurt, and it does speed them up a decent amount. So if we go here and we say on the down, we want to insert power, they should automatically get power, and now they can process significantly faster. That's yellow cards. So now they should all have power going into them. And that just takes that latex processing and makes it much faster, ultimately. Instead of having to go up to 100, it starts out at 40. So that's a 60% speed increase. I'll take that. But anyway, we end up with that, and then we are going to get plastic out of this. So that gets us into Industrial Foregoing. I am going to go ahead and set up a... We should set up a tank or something over here. So that way... Yeah, this is going to... I'm thinking of the latex. Like, how do we get latex? Maybe I can have one of these dedicated to just being for the dissolution chamber, maybe. And then the other one's for the plastic. But we're going to need plastic, too, for a lot of the machines. Like, we need the plastic for the machines themselves. But every bucket's only making us... Or every 100 of that only makes us one tiny dry rubber. Trying to think. We'll let it run for now and see where we end up. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. I have validated that this episode actually is recording, so that's great. But anyway, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.